In my previous videos, I was writing code that was just playing some games. But today is different. Today, we'll be creating a human. A perfect human. For a perfect human to exist, we need three main parts: base, functionality, and looks. For base, we'll take a skeleton, necessary for every human. And skeleton. This sounds good. And there we go. Now with our base, we can go to the training session, being human benchmark. And our perfect human, let's call him Bobby, will have to go through all the tests, getting 100% at each one of them. And to keep things as simple as possible, I'll try using as little lines of code as I can. Making code for all 8 game modes might take a little bit too much time to fit in one video, so we'll split them evenly for 2 parts. And since tier lists are quite trendy right now, we will make our own, based on which I will decide which game we are playing today and which one we're leaving for the next video. Okay, so here I prepared our tier list, and let me just do it real quick. This goes here, you go here, you can be here, this one is there, and you go here. Okay, and it is done. I think I lost one game mode in the process, but that one will just go to the next video, not a big deal. So going from top to bottom, today we are doing aim training, writing, verbal memory, and reaction test. Let's start with reaction test, to sharpen Bobby's vision like a, animals with good vision. Let me rephrase that. Let's start with a reaction test, as it will train Bobby's eyes to be razor sharp. The test is really simple. You press one button, then wait on the second button, press the third one, and repeat 5 times until you get your score. The lower, the better. Coding this test was very easy. We check one pixel as often as we can, and when it turns green, we press it. Simple stuff. There isn't much besides that, so I'll just show results. And there we have it, 100%, perfect. Here, take this. But great eyesight is not enough. Rich speech is another very valuable skill. It helps you sound intelligent, so people believe anything you say. And what better way is to learn it than by doing some verbal memory? Here, we need to remember if a displayed word was already seen, or if it's new. Coding this game was a little bit harder. We use text recognition library on a selected area to read a displayed word. Then we compare it with all the words we've already seen, which we store in an array. If it's not in there, we press the new. If it is, that means that we've already seen it before, so we press the seen button. Let's see the code in action! Yeah, so it's not that interesting because it can go like this forever, and the difficulty doesn't increase, so I made it run till 1000 and then the program will just stop. And there we have it! 1000 words with ease! Which is yet another 100% on our list. Here, Bobby, you deserve that. Now it's time for, in my opinion, the most important skill of any. Aim. If you're in a very important CS match, going neck and neck with your enemy team, all eyes on you, and then you die because your aim is terrible, every Russian kid on the server is gonna scream at you. And we don't want that. So we need to install the best cheat, master our aiming. This game was one of the harder ones to code. My main problem was, how can I do it efficiently and fast enough so the score will be at 100%, and the first solution I had was to do web scraping, which would work like this. Every page is built using HTML code, with some scripts and style to make the page work and look better. The one which is important for us is the CSS code, which, as you can see here, has exact position of our circle. If we can get that data, we can just press this as soon as possible and get a great score. So I've tried it for a good while with some better and worse results, and then I've checked the footage again. And I've noticed something really frightening: delay. It looks like the CSS code is updated 5 frames later after the button is pressed, which in 60 FPS video gives us delay of around 80 milliseconds. I had to come up with something else, which would be a lot faster, and that was to just create a grid that checks for any different color than the background one. And if there is any, just press it and start looking all over again. And the final time lowered to around 30 milliseconds. Really nice. Also, the footage is a little bit pixelated because it makes the bot check smaller area, which results in better time, so sorry about that. One might say that 30 millisecond reaction time isn't exactly perfect now, is it? And to those people I have only one thing to say. You are right. And that's why I came up with a perfect solution for the problem. Remember when I mentioned that web pages were running on scripts and stuff? That's what we're gonna use. Instead of writing code outside of the web page, we can inject our own code directly on the web page, which will press the circle on the very first millisecond possible, giving us a time of only 1 millisecond. Can't go better than that. And yeah, it's kinda cheating when you think about it, but I really wanted to use that 1 millisecond score on thumbnail, and lying on thumbnails is a skill that you can only discover when your subcon passes 3 digits, so I can't do that yet. It's time for the final test for today, as important as the aim training one. A perfect human doesn't wait his vocal cords to communicate, he types instead. And this is what we'll train now, words per minute. This task was one of the easier ones. We need to select area to read text from, change all the new lines to spaces, and press each button corresponding to sign in our text one by one. Now how many words per minute we can achieve with solution this simple? 300? 500? Maybe 1000? Let's take a look then. And there we have it, over 10,000 words per minute. Perfect English, no typos, just as we need. To show that Bobby has learned advanced typing techniques, I will reward him with those awesome gloves. And that also reminds me I forgot to give him something after he finished aim training, so give me a second. Here Bobby, this one's for you. So this is what we are currently standing on. Our human is now ready to play some CS games and maybe argue with people every now and then, but everything else and more will be discovered in the second part of this video. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like, check out my other work if you like, you can also subscribe and leave a comment too, and thank you for watching.